just to feedback from our report from Jose, or Councilmember Jose Moran, I agree with him. I think we need to have a censorship policy discussion as soon as possible. So I'm in full support of that, and I know the Attorney's Office could work on getting that done as soon as possible, and hopefully sooner and later bring it to the council for discussion and approval and support. Same thing, I had the opportunity to meet with the Mann family yesterday, along with Councilmember Moran, and our attorney, our state manager, our police chief. And the same thing as Councilmember Moran stated, we take everything seriously, and we're trying our best. I know we get frustrated on both sides, but like I said, in regards to myself, I'm in full support of you guys, and I believe you guys, and I want to make the best, the best decisions for the community. So I'm there with you guys. We're gonna work on the censorship, like we mentioned yesterday. We're gonna send it out to the DA's office to review. So I appreciate you guys having a meeting with us and getting this, worked on, and hopefully things get, things are better, and we could move on. But like I said, we're open. I know to speak for the rest of the council. We're all here, and we're hearing you guys, and we're available. Okay. But yeah, if just direction, I guess it's not on the agenda, but just in the future items, the censorship policy as soon as possible, please. Yeah, he will, but it's not on the agenda. We can discuss it, but just future direction. Yeah. Or maybe the next agenda or the next meeting, please. And I think that's it for me. In regards to our next section, the citizen comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item not otherwise on the agenda. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to a lectern and identify themselves. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes in accordance with state open meeting laws. No action will be taken by the city council this evening. For items which are on the agenda this evening, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the city council as each item is brought up for discussion. Anybody's welcome to go up, and 3 minutes.
Jason Ross, 1629 Spruce Court.
Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, what is the ordinance on a resident who owns a commercial business parking commercial vehicles on a city street?
Thank you, Jason. City manager is going to address your question.
Yes, more than happy to address your question. So if the ordinance calls out that can you repeat the question again to make sure that I got it correctly?
Yes, I have a neighbor on Redwood, and he's got many trucks there every single evening, and during the day, trailers, dump trucks, and they stay there overnight. What is the ordinance on restricting that in a residential area?
Yeah, there is a restriction. They're not allowed in the residential area. If it's a residential area, they're not allowed. But what we'll do is we'll try to talk offline, and we'll make sure to address that and look at that and educate the property owner and give them a courtesy notice. But thank you for calling. But yes, the big rigs and certain types of trailers are not allowed in the residential area.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Any other comments on the phone? Any other citizen comments on the phone? I don't hear any here in person.
Good evening, everybody.
Can you guys please mute your phones? Citizens on the phone, can you please mute your devices, please?
Thank you. Good evening. Excuse me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, sir.
Oh, I said, don't worry about the time.
Oh, no, I'll keep it short. It's very short today. Thank you. Good evening. I just have one question tonight, and this is for Mr. Ramirez. During yesterday's special meeting, the mayor mentioned that you, Mayor Aguilar, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia, and Councilman Kang were touring city facilities. During this time, while you were all together, were any city issues or matters discussed?
My assumption is you're referencing the day that we were out at the well site?
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, so at that well site, basically staff was providing council with information related to the city wells and its condition and the game plan moving forward. That's what took place.
Okay. Mr. Taniguchi, I ask you, after hearing this information, knowing that 3 members of this council were discussing city matters, I'd like to look into the possibility of violating the Brown Act, okay? Please. I will also like to add that Mr. Kang can go to photo ops when it comes to city water issues and swearing in new officers, but cannot be bothered to physically attend council meetings. I will continue to attend these meetings until you show up, sir. The next thing on my agenda is to turn in public records request, another one, for phone records. While I have been attending these council meetings over the past few months, I have seen members of this council on their phones. Much of this, what looks like texting, occurred while citizens were addressing or reporting to the council. I would like to know what was so important that could not wait, or perhaps it was possibly another violation of the Brown Act. So I'll turn this in now. That concludes my statement. Thank you all, and I appreciate the comments today. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comment, citizen comment?
Good evening, Council. It kind of feels good to be on this side sometimes, you know. You don't have to worry about it too much. But first of all, I wanted to thank the Council by renewing the city manager's contract. I think you guys made a very wise decision with all the work that the city needs to do. You know, you can't find anybody that's more trained and willing to get in there. So thank you all that supported. I think it's worth it. On another note, I'm here to give you guys a bit of a history lesson. Try to understand that city council members are not just council members when they're sitting there in a meeting. They're council members outside in the community. So when an elected official does something and says to the public, hey, I did this, even though outside the meeting, they acted as a council member, but you can't say that only the good things I did as a council member. When you do something that's inappropriate, you're also within that role. You can't pull yourself apart at a certain time and stay within the role another time. You can't do that. Sometimes the simplest thing can get very challenged, can be very destructive, can be very distracting. One time back in 2009, 2010, it was a simple matter of city going through utility rates and deciding what we want to do with water. Citizens came in, city thought that if we just ignore them, they'll just go away. And before you know it, city had to hold the meetings at the Portuguese Hall because these facilities couldn't hold it. And it's not usually the big complicated stuff that public understands or they'll get upset about. It's usually the simple thing that they can relate to. And Livingston is probably 65, 70% Hispanic, 18, 19, it depends on what you have of the Indian origin. And both of these ethnic groups care very deeply for their family and for their family members. And they take each their own or someone else's at a personal level. So if I were to say something negative about somebody, it's taken personal. I know that I've spoken to some of the council members, and I've heard comments. There's no need to repeat it. Everybody knows what they said. But I think that what was said was totally inappropriate. There is no denying what was said. Each and every one of you has the proof. To put a citizen against a elected official who has the bigger bully pulpit, a megaphone as it were, to put against somebody that doesn't get involved in the city business other than to live here and to be who they are, then to me, I feel that it is also your duty to protect the citizens from your own. I think it's totally needed. To simply say that we're going to pass ethics training or we're going to do this, it may sound good, but I don't think it makes the person whole. It really, really doesn't make the person who feels they were wronged whole. It does not. Are you, each and one of you, or anybody that's not here, willing to accept that, hey, you know what, we're going to do this, we're fine, that's okay? No, it's not. And I don't think that you folks should just pass an ethics training, which everybody was accustomed to. We all know that you don't have to have training for everything. There are rights and there are wrongs, and there's usually no need for those trainings. We know that. There were some questions brought up, and that I watched the meeting, and I'm here because the Mann family also approached me and saying this is that. And to me, if I understand, I apologize, just give me a couple of minutes more, I'll end it. If those comments were made towards a gentleman or towards a man, I don't think people would be as upset. But when you make it towards a lady, imagine if that was, just like it was said before, if it's your daughter, your sister, your wife, none of us would really accept it. And I think you three or you five, four, whatever number you want to count to, can handle this in a way it's done, you know. Another thing was done, a comment was made that there was some sort of investigation. I have not said anything to anybody. I'm not going to say it. However, if you, the council, does have the authority, put on the next agenda and say, was there one or not? You could say it. What were the results? Was there anything? Was there a vote? What kind of? You could say that, and it brings transparency because it also sets, if there was something, it also sets the precedent. So please, do the right thing for Kushi. Forget about JT. No, forget about me, forget about anybody else. She has never, ever got involved, has said a negative word to anybody. To me, she's no different than Samantha or Harleen, my daughters. And you, based on your age, should also look at her as either your daughter, your sister. You know, I don't think she's old enough to be anybody's mother, but still, not anybody there, but still. So please, you know what you need to do. If you allow this to pass, then it will happen again. So, and I apologize, Council, for taking more than 3 minutes, and I appreciate it, and thank you very much.
That's okay. Thank you for your comments. Wise as always. Nice seeing you again. Any other comments? Anybody else on the phone?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just have a quick question for council. How long is this allegation going to continue? I mean, can't you guys give the direct answer and tell the gentleman that the First Amendment is freedom of speech? I understand that that kind of vulgar language shouldn't be said, but if it was said, it should be done with.
I mean, members of the public are free to come and speak on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. So it's well within every citizen and resident's right to come and voice their opinions at each meeting.
Thank you, Trevor. So, I mean,
Okay, we're going to move on to our consent agenda. Items on the
Just one
consent.
more, I just wanted to make a comment.
Oh, yeah,
in
go ahead.
regards-
Sorry, go ahead.
Again, I appreciate the Mann family and all their support coming out. Our previous mayor that came and spoke on the behalf of the Mann family. And as one of the only women up here, I do believe that it does take, and I said this when they first appeared at that they came forward at our first council meeting, to bring this concern forward. Again, it's about women and protecting ourselves, and even our young children, giving them the empowerment to and courage to come forward, to bring issues that they feel that need to be exposed. And knowing this, and I see and hearing what we've had to say, Councilmember Moran and Mayor Aguilar, in regards to what steps that we are taking as a council with the advisement of legal and our city manager. Again, we want to be on the side of who we represent. And I think moving forward, and the question was just presented, how long is this going to take? Well, we would have hoped that it would have taken this long to come to some type of a decision. But again, being someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's wife, Cushy here as a fellow member in our community, as a sister, a woman to woman, there's no way that would have gone past me had I not been up here on the dais. So again, any comments or any direction that is derogatory to any woman, daughter, wife, mother, is disrespectful. So any allegations that are pending against any persons, man, whomever made any types of comments, again, coming forward, being honest, being transparent, that's what we want to see, and I think that's what we're trying to bring forward here. And I apologize on the behalf of the Mann family that it's had to come to this point when easily could have been rectified had it been my son or anybody saying any comments like that. Had they been said in public, they would have got a whoop. Just plain and simple. Take care of the matter, address it, and again, support out for Cushy and her courage for coming forward and making herself public. So woman to woman, and just advice to people out there in the public that feel that it's okay to treat any person unfairly with disrespect is something that I personally won't tolerate. So again, thank you for council. Thank you for continuing with your efforts of trying to do what's right, because we also want to do what's right. Okay, thank you.
If I may just have 1 minute.
Yeah. 20 minutes? Okay, go for it.
Thank you. Well, first of all, once again, like always, I do appreciate when people take the time to come to the council meetings and offer public comment. I think it is very important, not only because we want to know what your concerns are, but also because it is important for the community to know what your concerns are. And a lot of times you come here and you speak on behalf of other members in the community. I do also want to thank Mr. Samra for being here and taking the time to be here. I know his dad is it's a home, and he's taking care of his dad as well, and it takes a lot. And to the Men family, once again, and not only to the Men family, but to every family out there in the community, regardless of who you are, regardless of who we are not above anyone else. And we're, like everyone else, we're not only council members 4 hours every 2 weeks. We become council members every day, 24/7, like I stated before. And when that happens, when I was elected, the community put the trust in me and everyone else up here. And so that trust needs to be given back to and maintained and be respectful. Just because I was elected as a council member does not give me the power to mistreat or bully anybody else. So thank you and I hope that you continue expressing your concerns, your opinions, your suggestions, and recommendations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilmember Jose Moran. Just to feedback from everybody else, I'm in agreement with them. I think it's very important that we follow through and listen to our community as a whole. Everybody's important to us. And I think we're all up here, obviously not because of paycheck or self-interest. I think we're all our interest is for the community and to better the community and better our city. But I really hope, honestly, we are trying our best with getting advice from attorney and our city manager as well. And, we definitely, like Councilmember Soto stated, we are trying our best. And we don't tolerate, like I've said many times, we don't tolerate that kind of behavior. We don't condone that type of behavior. It's not, it's not allowed. Like everybody mentioned, we are council members. We're elected officials 24/7 at all times, inside the house, outside the house, the different city, different state, no matter. We're elected officials for that term, and we have to behave as such as we have been given that trust. So. I want to thank everybody, and I really wished and hope that we get more citizens involved and more people coming to our council meetings. I mean, we've been trying this for a very long time to get more involvement in the town, and so we do appreciate when people do come to our meetings or do reach out to us. Obviously, like Jose and Maria mentioned, we do get a lot of one-on-one feedback from the community and members of our town, but it's nice to see people in general come. So hopefully this will facilitate others to feel comfortable and come out and also express their concerns. So thanks everybody. We'll move on to our consent agenda.
I have something.
Hello?
It's Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously we're not getting nowhere with this. This keeps coming back to us every council meeting. I got an idea. Why don't we just get this report, forward it to the district attorney's office, let them figure out what's going to happen. Obviously, Mr. Mann's not happy with the decision the city is making or is going to make or whatever they're going to do in the end. So that's one idea because, there's citizens out there that are, viewing and they see this and it's just like, we talk about the same thing over and over. So, Ms. Trevor, I'm not sure where you're at on this. Just send this thing to the district attorney's office and let them figure it out. And then also, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a violation of the Brown Act if they met with Mr. Mann at his house?
So, Mayor Pro Tem, to your question, we have submitted what we've gathered to the district attorney's office. So that case has been forwarded to their office, and any issues regarding that matter or questions regarding that should be directed directly to their office. In regards to your question regarding violations of the Brown Act, so long as members, there's not more than a quorum of this council discussing matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city, there's no Brown Act violation.
So, the council shouldn't be even comment on this as it comes up on our next meeting. Is that what you're saying? It should be directed to the district attorney's office?
Specific to any information gathering that we gathered or, the city attorney's office gathered specific to the claims raised that involve certain elements that are outside the jurisdiction of what the city's attorney's office is authorized to look into, I can address those comments on a case-by-case basis.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Trevor. Anything else, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia?
No, that was it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, let's move on to our consent agenda.